I'm joined by University of Central Oklahoma quarterback commit Mason Willingham. Mason, thank you for taking time this evening to come on and talk to us. Could you start by telling the viewers and listeners a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, appreciate you having me on. I'm a quarterback. Um, I started out at Skytook, a little town just north of Tulsa. I played there for a long time. Ended up transferring after my sophomore year, and I'm now at Owasso, and that's where I've been the past 2 years.
And what was that? What was that adjustment period like, coming from, like you said, a small town of Skytook to one of the bigger schools in the state in Owasso?
Yeah, it was a big jump. You go from 4A to 6A1. Oklahoma football. There's a big jump in between there, and that's why I wanted to go. Um, it was it was a it was a learning curve, but it was a lot of fun.
And for those of us that follow Oklahoma high school football, we know in the 6A it's dominated by the Tulsa area schools, right? Owasso, Bigsby, Jinx, Union, Broken Arrow. So what is football like? What does that mean to not only to the city of Owasso?
It's a big deal. Here in Owasso, football is huge. They take football pretty serious. So, for us this year, we made it to the state championship. So it was a big deal for us. And, ever since Coach B's gotten here, they've kind of changed the way this program has looked. So I think he's been here, 5 or 6 years, and has been there 3 times already. So, it's definitely growing on the community, and it's become a bigger um, thing for Owasso, and it's pretty exciting.
And you mentioned Coach Blakenship. Obviously, we know what he did before at Union, and then he had a great stint at Tulsa.
Mhm.
What has it been like to play under him?
It's been a man. He's definitely taught me a lot. He's one of the best guys I've ever known. Um, Without a doubt, will go down as probably the best coach I've ever had. He's a great guy, um, great coach. He's taught me so much about football that I could go on and on about the guy for sure.
And being the quarterback for one of the premier teams in the state, that obviously comes with a lot of pressure. So, how were you kind of able to kind of not only navigate but thrive in a pressure packed role where maybe some other guys wouldn't have been able to do so?
Well, at the quarterback position, you kind of have to love the pressure. So I definitely have adapted to I would say that the pressure that comes with being a quarterback. So, I've always wanted to be. I've always thought I've played my best football uh, when the lights are on, and when the pressure is high. So, it's part of just playing. Being a quarterback, and you have to be able to adapt and learn in those situations. So, without a doubt, it's a tough position, and it's a tough place to be, especially at a big school. You're when you lose, it's your fault, and if you win, you're the answer. But I wouldn't trade the position or this community for anything.
And to you, what would you say is probably the hardest aspect of being a quarterback?
Outside noise. Being a quarterback, you have to be confident in whatever you do. So outside noise, if you let that get to you, you will not play as well. And I think the best ones, they take it on as a challenge, and they continue to get better. And definitely the outside noise, though, you just have to completely shut that out, and play, and be yourself out there.
And then looking at the season, it started off kind of rough for you guys. I know you had a slow start. You lost Cole Adams, one of the best receivers, not only the state but in the nation. But you all were able to somehow get it together and go on a great playoff run, culminating in the state championship appearance. How were you all able to, I guess, maybe not get too down on yourselves after the slow start and the adversity and come back from that and make a run that probably surprised some people.
Yeah, I mean, when we lost Cole the first game, we lost our number one running back before the season even started. So before the season started, we knew that this season wasn't going to be easy. Um, and to be honest with you, when you start out 1-4, things don't look too bright in the locker room, in the community, and people are, everywhere talking about what happened to Owasso football. Well, it's just part of it. We had the hardest schedule I think Oklahoma football has ever seen. I mean, we went from Bixby, Jinx, BA, Union, and Mustang to 5 great football teams, and it didn't come out as well as we wanted to. But you know what? After that, we started to just kind of settle down. We realized that we found our identity. We realized that we could play with any team that we wanted to, and um, we just started to understand as a team that we needed to be with each other, and the locker room started to grow after those, believe it or not, started to grow at the end of those games, and it was tough. But at the end of the day, it's what made us such a good team down the line, and it's the reason why we beat a couple teams that people said we shouldn't have. So I wouldn't have traded it for anything else. I wouldn't have traded it for a perfect season. That season will definitely go down as my favorite season in high school football for sure, and maybe ever. So, it was a rough start, but we just continued to be positive about the situation and have a better outlook at it. And we got better every week. So, yeah.
Now, what kind of do you credit for you all being able to stay together? Because obviously, after a 1-4 start, it would have been very easy to for things to start breaking down internally. But it seems like you all actually grew stronger from that. So, what kind of do you credit towards that happening?
Well, I think you have to credit Coach B. I believe it starts at the top. You credit Coach B because he was, no matter what, he was always in our corner. Um, he was a guy that just kept us positive, and then we had a leadership meeting, council, I guess you would, as leaders of the team, and he would talk to us about how we need to handle being 1-4 and being not a very good team at the beginning of the year. And when we started to learn and how to lead in those situations, the leaders of the team really stepped up and became a really big part. And we just kind of held it together as long as we could, and it just started to grow each week. And it was kind of like glue. We just all loved each other, and we just continued to get closer each week.
Now you mentioned, you went on that playoff run. You beat some teams people probably didn't think you beat. Obviously, I think probably the one that everybody's going to remember 5, 10, 15 years from now. That
Yeah.
6 overtime classic against Union, in which you yourself had more yards than the entire Union team.
Yeah.
First of all, six overtime. That's a lot of football. So, like, how were you all able to dig deep and keep answering the bell and keep fighting for 6 overtimes?
Well, it was yeah, you're right. It was a crazy game. I knew it was going to be a really crazy game about the second drive when we took it 98 yards. It was a 98-yard drive in less than like 2 minutes, and it was I was gassed after that drive, and so I knew that it was going to be a long game. And when we got to those 6 OTs, I mean, I think it was the third OT, and I was like, man, I don't know how much longer we can go, but you just find a way. You find find a way to win, and to be honest with you, we just wanted it more than they did, and that's just what it came down to. But yeah, it was an exhausting game. I remember going home, and I thought I was going to sleep well. I didn't sleep at all that night. Just still amped up about the game. it was a pretty crazy night, and it would definitely go down as one of the craziest game in Oklahoma history.
And then when you look at your senior season as a whole, over 2,000 yards passing, over 1,000 yards rushing, roughly 30 combined touchdowns. What kind of will stick out to you the most about your senior season?
Um, I just think we just were resilient. I would put it as like that. When things didn't go our way, my way, we just continued to get better. And you know, it's one of those years where it felt like everything just didn't go. I mean, we were down to our fifth running back at one point in the season. We had to bring an H back. To be a running back. So it was just a rough year. So we were, just finding ways to win football games, and that's what we did. And I'll always be proud of that. And that's definitely one way to put our senior season. There's a lot of ways you could put our senior season, but it was a pretty crazy year.
And now, so now what now? Because obviously you're a UCO commit. So like, what I guess first, what was the recruiting process like for you?
Yeah, so it was pretty interesting. Um, I being when I transferred over here, I had to win a job my junior year, and I ended up winning that job about I think 3 games left in the year. They finally gave me the nod, and so that kind of was an interesting learning curve. I didn't know how he was going to go with recruiting at that time, and also COVID was my freshman year, I believe, it was just a weird time. um, and so it was, I didn't know really how to go about it. There wasn't a lot of camps and not a lot of stuff to go to. So it was definitely a very interesting time, but it started to pick up after my junior year, and UCO called me just kind of out of the middle of nowhere, and offered me. So I knew that things would start to pick up, and I had a handful of offers um, from that summer on to my senior season. But yeah, it was a pretty cool little deal. Being recruited is it's a blessing. So couldn't have asked for a better recruiting.
Ed, now because I talked to some, they said the process can get overwhelming at times with you're getting pulled in this direction, pulled in that direction, you're getting calls, getting texts. So did it at at any point get overwhelming for you?
Yeah, I was down to 2 schools, and it was UCO and Missouri Western. And so I really had no idea where I was going to go. I didn't know how to go about it. I just felt like, I had, both schools are great schools, but, I just felt like my place was at UCO. And so that's when I made the decision. But yeah, it can get stressful at times. People are calling you constantly, coaches, people want you to come to their school. Even, people you see around town, they're like, hey, man, why don't you come play for UCO or wherever? So it was a pretty crazy experience, but I loved every bit of it.
And so you said it came down to Missouri Western and UCO. So what was it about UCO that made you decide that that's where you want to play your college football?
Well, I think the first time I stepped on campus, I realized, oh, like this is a place where I could definitely see myself. Um, Number one, the coaches, they treat you like family. Coach Donald, Coach Letch, Coach Doral, all those guys. They've definitely treated me like family since the beginning. It was a it was just one of those things where I just felt like my heart was leaning towards UCO, and um, I loved every bit of what they had to offer. The facilities, I think they're the nicest in D2, and and they had everything I ever dreamed about. So I definitely fell in love from the time that they offered me, and it just felt right.
And now what I find interesting now, because especially in this day and age, now you aren't the only quarterback to be a commit. So now the fact that there was another one as well, I know to some it might have scared them off, but like, did that ever factor into it that they were bringing in another quarterback, or was it just like, okay, cool, that's just somebody else I can grow with, go through the process with, compete with? Like, what kind of was your feelings towards that?
Well, when I moved to Owasso, at the time there was like two or three schools that had returning starters in the Tulsa area, and so some people kind of asked me, like, why didn't I go to one of those schools or something like that? But I just wanted to be at Owasso, and for a lot of different reasons, but it was just kind of like UCO, it was kind of the same thing. I just loved UCO, and I actually know the other quarterback commit. So uh, it was definitely interesting. I didn't know how to go about that, but I'm not really scared of competition. I just want to go out there and do me. Um, but I definitely did take a look at that. But it was just at the end of the day, I just felt like my heart was telling me to go to UCO, and I didn't really care what was in the way.
Now, well, when I was watching your film last night, what stuck out to me the most, your poise in chaotic situations. There was times protection broke down. You were scrambling out the pocket. You had to step up in the pocket, but you never looked rattled. You never looked out of your element. How are you able to be so calm when everything around you is kind of in chaos?
Well, I think I've always just been kind of a calm guy, number one. But I think I've been in so many big games, and big atmospheres. It's just kind of you get used to it a little bit. I think I was also blessed to just kind of have that calm mindset. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things that you either have or you don't, I guess. And I got blessed to have it.
And the second thing that jumped out would I would say would be your deep ball. It's a nice catchable deep ball. There's a lot of air on that. Sometimes to try to guide it too much. Sometimes they put too much air on it. Like how I guess was that all, was that natural for you? Was a deep ball natural, or that's something that you had to work at over time to get to where it is now?
Well, I grew up playing a lot of sports. I played baseball. I've just always kind of been throwing the ball around. So, also another thing that comes with the poise is being a pitcher. I was a pitcher, and you just kind of learn. But yeah, I don't know. I've been training for a while, so it's just one of those things that I've definitely it's one of my best things attributes. Um, I don't know. You train over and over again, and I throw it like how Coach B wants me to. So I've just gotten used to it, and that's how he likes it. So I've just kept on going.
And I guess the third and final thing that kind of stuck out to me, I would say you're deceptively fast in the regards that when you decide to turn on the Jets, you turn on the Jets. That's something that I know UCO historically has kind of had that during my time covering. But I did notice when you do run, like you're not afraid of contact. Like, I didn't see you slide much. I saw you lower the shoulder.
Yeah.
Where does that, I guess, maybe love of contact come from?
I, I've been playing football for for a long time. You know, I heard Baker Mayfield say this. I didn't play football to slide. I played football for the contact, and I guess it comes a little bit with it. I love it. I think when I get hit, I play a little bit better, and I like the blue collar football. I like to run the ball. It's just part of me. I guess a lot of quarterbacks they don't, or a lot of people don't like when quarterbacks get hurt, get hit a lot. That's definitely a conversation that coaches have had with me. But I like to play. I like to get hit. I just like it. I don't know. It's just you can call me crazy, but it's just part of my game.
Well, I say that because you're the quarterback room you're joining. You're joining your Stephon Brown, in my opinion, one of the best quarterbacks not only in the conference but in the country. He has a similar mindset. He doesn't like to slide. He finally slid more this year. But like looking at that, I guess I don't know if you met Steph, if you talked to Steph. Steph's a tremendous leader, a tremendous player. I guess like kind of what are you looking forward to most about learning not only under him, under Peyton Thompson, but also under Coach Doral and Coach Lechtenberg?
Well, I mean, I think there's going to be a big jump between college football and high school football. So to be able to learn under Stefan, I've met him a little bit, shaking his hand, but uh, to be able to learn, he's been in the game for quite a bit. So to be able to learn under him and to be able to just kind of, a lot of quarterbacks don't have the availability to go to another quarterback and be like, hey, how do you do this? How do you do this? He can give me, hopefully, he can give me some tips and some tricks to put up my sleeve so I can become a better quarterback. And when it's my time, I can hopefully do the job.
And my final football related question for you would be what can UCO fans expect to see out of Mason Willingham in a UCO uniform?
Um, I think I just probably just being tough. I like to pride myself on being tough, and it's just part of who I am. I think, and hopefully, I can keep doing that there. And I'm excited.
Before I get you out of here, we do this with all the new guests, kind of some more get to know you type questions. So, your favorite sports team could be any sport.
Any sport. Oh boy. I'm gonna have to go with the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay. Now, I gotta say this now
Okay.
because
All right.
there are a handful of Cowboys fans currently on the roster. Now, is this the year that they make a deep playoff run?
I don't know. I feel like every year is the year. I don't know. Hopefully they can pull out a little OBJ action. I hope they get him. Um, I don't know. I think they have the team to do it this year. I won't lie to you. I think Micah Parsons is the real deal. I think Dak Prescott is the real deal. CD Lamb. I think a lot. I think they're the real deal. I'm going to be honest, and I think I'm also Coach Doral gave me a little crap for this when I talked to him the other day. I'm also kind of a Kansas City Chiefs fan, so I guess I can't put that in the same sentence. But I don't know. I hope they can do it. Let's just put it like that.
See, now it's funny you mentioned it actually because the last guest on here, Amaya Grace, is actually a Cowboys and a Chiefs fan,
Oh
and
yeah.
I just feel like I mean, that's like two fan bases with a lot of bandwagons. Feel like it could be. Some people might look at it as the case. Now, she had a reason why she was a Chiefs fan. She's met Patrick Mahomes. She's a huge Mahomes fan. So for you, why are you a Chiefs fan?
Well, I love the way Patrick Mahomes plays. That's really it. I mean, I love Travis Kelsey, a lot of those guys. Tyreek Hill when he was there. I just kind of I fell in love with the way they played the game, and so I for that reason I've just not because they've won a couple championships, but I just like the way they play their offense. I love Andy Reid and what he does, and um, yeah, I mean, how can you not? How can you not love him?
Yeah. And now, where do you fall on the Tony Pollard Ezekiel Elliott debate? Now, do we feel like one's better than the other? We feel like Zeke it might not be worth the money. How are we kind of falling on that?
This is a big debate. I think they're the best duo in the NFL. And I think they should stay. If I was them, I would stay a duo. And because I think Tony Pollard is becoming a stud, and I don't think he could do it without Ezekiel. But I think they eat off of each other, and I think they ought to keep doing it. I don't know who's better. I don't know if they had one had to stay, one had to leave. I would probably pick Tony Pollard. I won't lie to you. I like the way he plays.
Okay. Yeah. Now, if there was Chiefs Cowboys Super Bowl, who are we pulling for?
Oh boy. I'm gonna have to go Cowboys. I just can't. I just can't. I don't know. I love Patrick Mahomes, but not that much.
Okay. I respect that. I
Yeah,
can respect it.
yeah.
Okay, let's see. Your favorite hobby outside of football?
Hobby. Well, I collect sneakers. Does that count?
It counts.
Counts, yeah. I'm a big Jordan guy, so that's one of them.
Yeah, you have a favorite pair of Jordans?
I'm a big 11 guy. I don't. It doesn't matter what colorway. Um, I don't know if I have a favorite colorway. I just like the 11s a lot. I think they're very comfy, and they can kind of go with anything. So
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Your favorite food?
favorite food in general, or just
Yes,
like
sir.
um, hmm, I like chicken. I like chicken and rice. Just chicken tenders is also up there, but probably just chicken tenders. Honestly, Cane's, Chick-fil-A.
Now, which is that now? What is your go-to chicken tender place?
Oh man, you're asking some tough questions here. Depends. So are we going just flavor or with the sauce?
We can go both.
Okay. Flavor without any sauce is Chick-fil-A. But with the sauce is Cane's.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see here. Okay, your favorite musical artist?
Ooh. Uh I have a lot. I'm country and rap guy. So we'll go both. We'll go let's go Zach Bryan and Lil Baby.
Okay. Okay. And your favorite songs by each of them?
Zach Bryan, I'll go something in the orange. Little baby. Um, hmm, I don't know. I don't know. He has so many good ones. I don't know if I can pick. I don't know. I don't know about that one. That one would take some time. I might have to put a little. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Now, do we have that? Do we have a top five of his songs for you?
Um, let me pull him up. Let me pull up his songs and I'll rank them here for you. Um, all right, freestyle. Okay, I'll put freestyle as number one. How
Okay.
about that?
Okay.
That's just a go-to. 2002. I mean, it's a throwback.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see now. Do you listen to Lil Wayne at all?
I have before. I couldn't tell you one of his songs, to be honest with you.
Okay. 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 Um, let's think here. Okay. Are you a gamer at all? You play video games?
A little bit. Not much of one, but yeah, I do.
Okay. Now, are we a Xbox, a PlayStation, or a PC guy?
There's only one correct answer, and it's PS.
Okay, so I asked this because the vast majority of your soon to be teammates are PlayStation. Now I will tell you, Coach Doral,
See
Coach
that?
Curley, and the holder Bo Phelps are all Team Xbox.
Oh, I'm gonna have to get on a phone call with Coach Donald, and we're gonna have to talk about this because that's unacceptable. It really is.
So so now why to you though is PlayStation the superior console?
How could I mean? There's just so many. I mean, what does Xbox have to offer that like it's just Xbox is just Xbox. It's just old. It's just when I think of Xbox, it's like Xbox 360. Like you don't. What do you when you think of PS, you think of like PS4. There's just no comparison at all. Not at
Okay,
all.
okay. So when you do game, what is your game of choice?
I'm pretty good at Madden. all my friends hate me because I look at the literal play and go through coverages, and they don't like that. So they call it cheating. I don't know why. I mean, I know what you're running on defense, but whatever.
Now was it that there are a few of your new teammates, okay, that they claim to be really good at Madden. Now that would be Jonathan Mosley, who claims he's the best on the team. That has since been disputed by several players.
Okay.
And then there's also Kellen Culberson that claims he's pretty good too. Now, so there should be some competition there on the Madden scene for you when you get there. I heard it's been pretty competitive.
Right.
Let's see what else. Okay. Your favorite TV show?
Peaky Blinders.
Okay. Let's see here. Do you have any pregame routines or rituals that you normally do?
No, I'm a pretty relaxed guy before games. I just listen to music, kind of do my own thing, but not. I do have one that I started during the playoffs. I had mismatched socks on. You couldn't tell, but I did have mismatched socks on. So that's the only thing I can really think of.
Okay. Well, Mason, I that's all I have. I appreciate you taking time to come on a Saturday evening to come on and talk to me. I'm glad, obviously, that you decided to become a Cho. I'm looking forward to seeing you grow, covering your career, and anytime you want to come back on, you're more than welcome to.
Well, I appreciate you having me.